لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور الكبير الحفيظ المقيت الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة المتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وبعد. My dear beloved brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To all our viewers, local or elsewhere, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to our day 8 of MasjidSadar and Community Center live streaming on the days of Zulhijjah. And so today we are on a very important day, heading into a very, very critical day tomorrow, inshallah. So I have with me Brother Muaz. Ahlan wa sahlan.
Ahlan bika, Salim. How are you and how's everything?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. So inshallah, we want to talk about tomorrow is a very big day. Tomorrow is the day of Arafah. A day that the Prophet ﷺ said that the best day that the sun can be risen, also like the day of Jumu'ah, and also the day today, the Hujjaj heading into Mina, Yawm Tarwih, to take rest to ready for tomorrow's action. So I want us to get our brothers and sisters ready, and I would like to begin by saying that we need to able to understand what important day we are getting into. According to Ibn Rajab rahimullah, he said, like unlike Ramadan, the night of Ramadan or the best night of Ramadan is not known. We have to look for it. We have to search for it. But Arafah, it's known. The time is known. And the place is known. The Zaman wa Makan. Both are completely known. So we are on no guest trip or a search, finding history here about what is Arafah. And so how are we preparing to use Arafah? And I would like to begin by saying that tonight we need to have a proper intention to ensure that we are in the frame of mind that let's talk about the intention first to have this day tomorrow ready for us.
Yes, I mean, one of the things that can really set our intention straight, very straight, dear Asad Nadim, we know that Allah comes down to Sama Dunya every night in the last third of the night, right? But there's only one day a year during the day where Allah Jalla fi'ala, He descends to the Sama Dunya to boast to His angels about His servants, and that is the day of Arafah. So we need to make an intention, a clear intention, that tomorrow we have the best guest that we could ever have visiting us. So how are we gonna be good hosts to our guest? So we need to renew our intention. We need to be ready for tomorrow. We need to come in strong to show Allah Azza wa Jal, right, that we can be great hosts.
So tomorrow is a very great day, and it's a day that we must have an intention. So the idea of having an intention that if we wake up tomorrow morning and for some reason or the other we cannot fast due to certain circumstances, right? Genuine circumstances, because of our niyyah that we have already formulated, we are entitled to the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the day of Arafah, as if we have fasted. Okay, so that is the reason why it is important that tonight we should have we formulate our intention. Also, to get ready, I think it's very important, for us to go to bed early tonight, to take a rest with the intention that we want to energize and we want to be ready to do this ibadah tomorrow. Because if we go too late, we will get tired and we would not be able to do justice to it. And and this is the reason why Mu'adh bin Jabal, he says, uh, even sleeping is an act of ibadah if it is done with the intention to restore your energy that you can able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the following day. So let's talk a little about that we should not be lingering on in social media, hanging out. Get ready. We want to be focused. We want to really get focused.
Yep, and we need to, said Nadim, also make intention to fast, because the
Yes.
Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever fasts the day of Arafah, the sins of the previous year are forgiven, and the sins of the upcoming year are forgiven." So, by sleeping early, we can wake up energized to be able to fast the day of Arafah, right? To gain the rewards of the day of Arafah of fasting, right? So fasting is something we need to make an intention for tonight as well. And like you said as well, if God forbid something comes up and we are forced to break our fast, then we've made the intention from tonight, and Allah will give us the rewards of fasting.
Yes, absolutely. So the intention of fasting, and it's not only ourselves. I think it's very important for us to huddle the family and to get the family in this whole connection of renewing our covenant with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because tomorrow is a day of renewing our contract and our covenant with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. That contract that we have taken when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had spoken to us, Lastu bi rabbikum, and then, and the angels were there, Shahidna, as a witness for us that we have completed. And when we say Qalu Bala, excuse me. So the idea is also to get the family ready, to get something for suhoor. I know the hours are long for those of you who probably had not fasted any days so far in Zulhijjah. And if you have not fasted after Ramadan, and now you are getting into, so you want to ensure that you are in the frame of mind, right? I would assume we want to cater for everyone who fasted in Zulhijjah, those who doesn't fast, because the hours are long hours, and we don't want you to get tired and hungry, and you cannot focus.
Yes. So yep. So that's for definitely. And Ustaz Nadim, you're talking about the covenant, right? And we renew our contract, and Allah stood there and He said, "Am I not your creator? Am I not your designer?" And we all said, "Indeed, indeed," and we were all witnesses, right? But it's also, there's something that when you said that, it just reminded me, on the day of Arafah is the day where our deen was completed, right? That's just the significance of this day, right? The covenant just reminded me of it, and I had to say it. Allah revealed the verse, "Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam din." On this day, I've completed for you your religion, and I've instilled my favors on you, and I've accepted Islam to be the one and only religion. So we have to show this, and I said this, probably said this before, and I do say it again. Fasting is the best form of ibadah. It's the ibadah we're in for a long period of time, because no one of us is gonna want to just fast, starve, and go thirsty, not eating and drinking, and come out of it of no rewards. We strive harder when we're fasting to stay away from the sins, right? Because we want all this hunger and all this thirst to be rewarded greatly.
Yeah. So the idea of reconnecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by taking an early rest or early break. And this is a sunnah of the Prophet. When the Prophet, he took the Sahaba, right? He took the Sahaba to to Mina, and they do nothing except rest in order for them to be prepared for Arafah. Okay, they will be engaged in the regular ibadah, but there are nothing extraneous that they would do that will keep them, tired, that they would not be able to prepare for the day itself. So this is a big deal. It's a very big deal, and that's the idea. We are trying to emphasize this point of how you should, make arrangements for this. And I don't know. I probably think that by now many people have made some arrangements with their job, that to be home early. And many of the scholars are saying that it is, you should try to spend time between dhuhr and the sunset. A large majority is between asr and sunset, to call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to have all your dua. But the most important thing is the connecting and the covenant with Allah, and this contract that we have with Allah, that we need to ensure that we fulfill this obligation. And not only that, that we get ready and we wake up for a suhoor. And there is blessing in suhoor, of course, right? I don't want us to say that, well, this is not a fasting, so, I will take a break. This is sunnah mu'akkada, right? This fast is sunnah mu'akkada. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for 7 years in Medina had this longing to go for Hajj, but for 7 years he fasted in Medina, continuously on the day of Arafah and seeking Allah's forgiveness. So I don't want us to say, well, this is not fard, it's only sunnah, so I don't mind if I take a pass. Please don't take a pass if you're healthy on this stuff.
Well, it says Nadim two things actually about it being a sunnah, right? The fasting, we just said the fasting of the day of Arafah expiates the sins of the previous year and the upcoming year. Which one of us is sin free, right? And before the prescription, before Ramadan became prescribed on us as Muslims to fast, Arafah was an obligatory fast. And you can see the tabi'een, the followers of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they used to tell them, "Ajaban lakum ashab Rasulillah," like how mysterious, or how wondrous you are, companions of the Messenger ﷺ, right? When you're traveling, you would break your fast during Ramadan, but you will never break your fast when you're traveling on the day of Arafah, because and then the companions, they would reply back and they say, because Allah promises us in the Quran that if we make up the days of Ramadan, that we will get the rewards of fasting the days of Ramadan if we make them up. But the day of Arafah, you can't make it up. So
There is
the
a promise.
reward of,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a promise of it that you can't make it up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you don't want to miss this. And the thing is that, look, I mean, if someone should tell us, you go to Fajr in the morning, and I would like to encourage everybody that if you have not gone for Fajr in Jama'ah for a long time, the other activity is try to get there to Fajr in the morning, pre-Fajr in Jama'ah. And this is, inshallah, MasjidSadar and Community Center will be hosting a program at the Musalla, inshallah, at Fajr. And then after Fajr, we will be having a nasiha, and then we'll spend some time doing some individual dhikr. And after sunrise, we'll encourage everyone to do 2 rakat duha. And of course, again, and a promise that the Prophet says that a person who does that, what happens? They have the reward of Hajj wa Umrah, right? In your local city, you can have that reward. So this is something that inshallah we plan in the morning. So we'd encourage everybody in the community to come out. Fajr is at 4:30 a.m. at the Musalla.
Can I say one more thing, Ustaz Nadim?
Go ahead.
Right. The Hujjaj right now, what are they saying? They're saying Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika laka Labbaik, Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. Do we know what the meaning of Labbaik means? Can we actually, so as they're doing this Labbaik, can we perform this Labbaik at home on the day of Arafah? Right? A Labbaik means, Ya Allah, my core, my existence, everything within me belongs sincerely to you. So we need to show, that's what the Hujjaj are saying. They're saying, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. To Allah we hasten, we run with everything within us, with all our deeds, with our core to you. So we need to show Allah tomorrow, especially tomorrow, that Labbaik Allahumma labbaik from our homes, that maybe we can reap the same reward as those Hujjaj over there, since Allah hasn't granted us the permission to be there for Hajj.
Yes, and the other thing to Ramad is that a lot of times we kind of resign and doing the takbirat only on the day of Eid,
Naam.
right? We should start doing the takbirat from the day one of the month of Hajj at the beginning,
Naam.
going to the masjid. You're driving to the masjid, recite, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. It is said that Umar radiallahu anhu and Abu Huraira used to go to the marketplace and they used to
Naam.
raise their voice with the takbirat in these 10 days and people will join them. So if there is one sunnah that we all can revive, is that when we're driving going to the masjid, we going anywhere, just do some dhikr
Takbir.
to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is reviving a sunnah. What is the reward of reviving a sunnah? Those who practice it, they they will have it, plus the person who revives it would have that blessing
Naam.
without reducing that blessing from the other person.
Naam. And also, Ustaz Nadeem, one other thing that we should also focus on the day of Arafah is dua. Because the
Yes,
Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the best of dua is the dua of Arafah.
yes.
So tomorrow we have to raise our hands. We have
Uh,
to ask Allah Azza wa Jal from everything. But I want to say, when we raise our hands, we need to be ones that raise their hands and possess the qualities that Allah Azza wa Jal spoke about in the Quran, right? And he says, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا. And those who came much after them, they say, oh Allah, forgive me. Right? But it
yeah,
doesn't stop there. When you're making dua, they say, رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ. Oh Allah, forgive me and forgive all my brothers and sisters. So when you
uh,
make dua, don't just keep the dua to yourself. Make it a
yes,
general dua for the ummah. Because the Messenger ﷺ says, when you make a dua for your brother, the angel will say, وَلَكَ بِالْمِثْلِ. You get the same exact thing you're asking for your brother. So you're
yes.
not decreasing anything from, but you're showing Allah a sign of why you should be beloved to Allah Azza wa Jal, by making dua for yourself and dua for your brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And the other thing before we wrap up is that for the brothers who can afford to come to the masjid and spend some time tomorrow, some hours at the masjid, if you have some time off from work, please come on to the masjid and do some ibadah. Be there, inshallah. If you cannot make it all day, if you can make it between Asr and sunset, it is highly, highly recommended. For our sisters, I don't want you to feel left out. As many of the ulama they says that the woman should have a little musalla in their home. So even if they spend and they resign themselves in that little chamber of themselves and to do the ibadah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward them as much as the brothers will be rewarded going to the masjid. So I don't want our sisters to feel left out, that these blessings are only going for the men. Our sisters, our women folk also can benefit yeah, equally like the brothers, as if they're going to the masjid.
Yes. So inshallah, and tomorrow we need to come strong, right? And one more thing I must add, Ustaz Nadim, tomorrow is the day to pray our salahs on time.
Yeah,
Tomorrow is the day we follow our salahs with sunnah, right? To
yeah.
complete it. If we messed up something during salah, tomorrow's the time to have the perfect salah, to try to focus in our salahs, pray them on time, pray them in jama'ah. If we can pray them in the masjid, every single one of them, then even better rewards, right?
Inshallah.
And try to pick up the Quran, read a verse or two, so that your day of Arafah, you're getting the rewards of even reciting the book of Allah.
Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullah khair. I really appreciate. I wish everyone, our brothers and sisters, all our viewers, inshallah, a blessed day tomorrow and a very productive day tomorrow, inshallah. Wa barakallahu feekum. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام